Mm-hmm. I think Usman is just joined today. I think Usman, you did not join yesterday, I guess. So fine, listen to me. Uh, you will get it. This is what we have discussed yesterday about load balancer. You missed an important class, but not an issue. I'm just covering it today. So interval is nothing but, okay, it will ping. Okay, the load balancer ping to a server and wait for 5 seconds to get the response. And when it needs to ping again, so with what time interval it needs to ping. It's not that once for once one time it has just pinged the server and confirmed by itself it is alive and then it is fine. It's not that every time, because we do not know when the server experiences huge load and when it will be very busy and when will it become fully loaded. We do not know, so that load balancer continuously ping the server. So with what time interval it needs to ping? Do every time, every single second it needs to ping, or with a time interval of 10 seconds it needs to ping, or with a time interval of 30 seconds it needs to ping? That's what the time interval. So first second of an hour if it pings, then after how many seconds it need to ping again? That's what the interval we generally give here. So the time interval is nothing but in an hour, for the first second it pings and wait for 5 seconds to get the response. After 10 more seconds it will ping that particular server again and gets the and wait for the response. So this is what we generally do. So every 10 seconds the load balancer ping all the available servers and gets the response, check whether the servers are healthy or not. Then unhealthy threshold, healthy threshold. These are important, healthy and unhealthy thresholds. What do you mean by healthy threshold and unhealthy threshold? When a server ping, load balancer ping a server, okay, if it do not get the response from the server with one particular response, it cannot confirm whether the server is healthy or not healthy. So what it does, for how many responses it needs to confirm that the server is not healthy, or for how many responses that the server is confirmed to be healthy. The case is sometimes the server may be very busy or fully occupied by a huge amount of load distributed to it, so that it may not respond to this ping path properly. Then load balancer may temporarily consider that the server is unhealthy. In that situation, it will not send traffic to that particular instance. But after certain time, when all the requests are served, what happens? The server will become free and it will become healthy. It doesn't mean that when a server is not responding, you terminate that server, right? You are not considering to send traffic to that server, but it may become healthy in the future again after some time. So that, okay, the unhealthy and healthy thresholds are set. What unhealthy threshold does here, it is given 2 that you can set, okay, any number of times you wanted up to 10. So the minimum of 2 and the maximum of 10, let it be 2 only. So for 2 times it will just ping the server, and for 2 consecutive times, 2 continuous times, if the server do not respond to this load balancer, then it will automatically consider that the server is not healthy and it will stop sending traffic to that. Then will it permanently stop sending traffic to that? No, it's not that. What it does, it will not, though it stops sending traffic to that particular server, it is not that it will stop pinging it. I'll come. That's what I'm discussing, right, Usman? Interval is nothing but, okay, within what time limit it needs to ping this server. So time interval always defines for how many seconds the servers are to be pinged, or for with what time interval those servers are to be pinged. Okay, it cannot ping. The load balancer do not supposed to ping every second. So we mentioned when it is 10 seconds, every 10 seconds, okay, the interval I'm talking about, every 10 seconds the load balancer ping the server to check whether the server is healthy or not. And what is threshold? Unhealthy threshold is nothing but if the server do not respond to the load balancer as it is mentioned too in unhealthy threshold. If the server do not respond to the load balancer for 2 consecutive times or for 2 continuous times, then it consider that the server is unhealthy temporarily. But it will not stop pinging that server, dear. It will continuously ping the server, okay, and only to find whether the server became healthy or not. And whenever the server respond to the load balancer for 3 continuous times, as I said it is 3, okay, the healthy threshold I set as 3. So for 3 continuous times, if the server respond properly to this load balancer, then it will automatically consider the server is healthy, the instance is healthy. So it will again start sending traffic to that. So that's how the load balancer is very smart enough to confirm whether the server is healthy or unhealthy. And the load balancer, what load balancer does? It distributes the traffic to all the healthy instances available. Okay, so that's what response timeout, interval, unhealthy threshold, healthy threshold, and all right. Looks like a couple of guys have joined. Yeah, fine. Okay. So next, I hope this is understood to everybody. We have already discussed yesterday, but just to recapitulate so that you'll not have any confusion. Then instances, currently I do not have any running instances, so I'm not adding anything, but in the future I'll do it. Okay. I have just mentioned, like I told yesterday, that what is cross zone load balancing. It's not only that you need to have, instances all in one particular availability zone for a high availability of your environment. If one data center go down, then automatically your entire site will collapse. So in order to safeguard it, you create your environment in multiple availability zones, and all that multiple availability zones servers can be added to a load balancer, so that one data center or one availability zone servers do not respond, then automatically the requests are sent to the other availability zone instances. So that is what cross zone load balancing. So it is automatically by default is set and enable connection draining. For how long the requests are to be sent. Okay, it's not that you are working, so I continuously provide you some work and then make you work. I must need to give you some rest in between, right? So that you just relax and then come back again with fresh energy and perform well. So that's how even the servers instances also have certain time limit to send traffic to that. So connection draining, which is nothing but for 300 seconds continuously the load is sent to that, and after 300 seconds it is just given a certain time. You just read the number of seconds to allow existing traffic to continue flowing. So that is what the information is provided, and after 300 seconds it is just given a little pass, then again it will start providing a load to that instance. That's what a connection draining. I'm not going to change that. You can edit that, but I'm not going to change. So tags you wanted, you can just do tagging multiply. What I'll do, I'll just take it as an ID. So that ID is something randomly I'm giving it. you wanted any more tags to be added, for what team it is, or for what application, for what website. You may have a number of websites when you are working for a particular, organization. That organization may have different projects. So for what project this load balancer is created? Because you will do everything in one particular account. You will not create an account for each project. You will have only one account, and in that one account you create everything. So you can just tag in that way for what project this load balancer is created and all. Up to you. Then these are just for our convenience. The taggings are for our convenience to understand what it is and what for it is created. And finally, review. We are going to review it, and anything you wanted to check or change, you can just do that for one last time before you start your load balancer. The reviewing will be there for all the services whichever we are creating in our AWS. That's the best part. You wanted to change anything, alter in the very last moment, you can do that. Fine, we successfully created a load balancer. This is what we have seen yesterday. Okay, and we have also discussed its description. Always the load balancer will have a default domain name, that's DNS name. Okay, so that is what it is. The domain name will have like this. First, its name, whatever the name we have given, my web load balancer, and a certain ID is provided to that. Whatever the ID we have given, it's by default randomly will be taken some ID, and the region in which we have created this load balancer, AP Southeast -2. Okay, that's in Sydney region. So Sydney region will have certain notation, that is AP Southeast 2. APAC, AP stands for APAC. Then ELB, Amazon.aws.com. This is an A record. We have discussed what's A record and what's CNAME. Not to worry, we will also discuss this again in Route 53 topic, but have an understanding. A record is nothing but a default domain name provided to a load balancer when it is created. There may be a question asked to you guys. Okay, make a note of this. A question asked to you guys, what is the difference between A record and CNAME? I have a domain name already provided to my environment, my load balancer. Why should I go with a CNAME again? Alright, so that may be a question. So what is your answer for that? Can anybody, which we have discussed yesterday, can anybody answer to me? My question is, we already have a domain name created or assigned by defaultly to my load balancer. Why should I go with a CNAME? A record is nothing but alias record, CNAME is nothing but canonical name. So can you just tell me why? Anybody? Guys, please prove your attention by responding to me sometimes.
No, sir, no idea.
I'm only getting response from Sai every time, and I'm not having this session for only one particular guy. I want everybody to take part in the conversations. Srikanth has no idea. I think you did not join yesterday, I guess. Yes, Srikanth. Yes, looks like, yeah, I noticed it. What about others? There are many guys. Prashant, Chandra. Okay, Usman, it is excluded. I mean, like, no idea. Shilpa, you don't have any idea? It's not trying. We had a session yesterday, and then I just discussed this. What is A record and CNAME? All right. I think you did not go to the video or you did not listen to me. Of course, it's my mistake that I have uploaded it little late uh, due to the internet connection problem. It's fine. Okay, Shilpa, you left the session in the middle. Understood. What about who is left again? Prashant, Chandra, Anu. If not, I again have to go to Sai only. Vaishnavi, can you? Please be responsive. Give me some second. There is a little disturbance out. I'll just change my location to somewhere. Yeah. Thanks, Anu. Okay. It's related to IP address. Not really, Chandra. Okay, let me clarify it again. Fine, in the end, Sai, can I get your inputs?
Like CN can work through multiple IP addresses,
Okay, anything?
but AD code can't.
Okay, understand guys. Okay, understand this way. It's very simple. There are two uses with this. Okay, it's an interview question. First thing, that is the reason why I'm stretching about it so long. Okay, to share our data to another AWS account. Not really, Shrikant, but let me confirm what it is. So have an idea what it is. A record is nothing but alias record. C name is nothing but canonical name. The difference between these two, the question is asked like this: why should I go for a C name when I'm already having a load balancer? The first point is, there are 2 points to be understood. The first point is this load balancer DNS name user friendly? If I just give this long DNS name to access my website, will you be able to remember this? So yes or no?
No, it's very long.
Very long. Rather, if I provide something like this, a google.com or whatever, aws.com, flipkart.com, yahoo.com, something like that, that's very easy, right? Very comfortable to remember and uh, connect to that website, access that website. So this is the first point or first reason why do we go for a CNAME. CNAME. CNAME is used for that. Okay, so canonical name is nothing but it is another registered domain name. If you read here, because this set of IP addresses associated with a load balancer can change, that I'll explain later. You should never create an A record with a specific IP address. You want to use a friendly domain name. Okay, here it is mentioned. This is the point, the first point I'm talking about. If you want a friendly domain name, DNS name, for your load balancer instead of a name generated by Elastic Load Balancing Service, ELB, okay, service, then you should create a CNAME record for the load balancer domain name, DNS name, or you use Amazon Route 53. So we see this, how do we associate an A record with CNAME in Route 53, okay, to create a hosted zone. So for more information, when you just create, if you wanted even more information, better information, you can just go click on this use domain name with Elastic Load Balancing. How do we associate that? You just get the information. So that is the first point. Only to get a friendly domain name, we go for a CNAME. This is not user friendly. That's the first point. And second point is, okay, to a load balancer, we can attach multiple instances of multiple availability zones. What if an entire region is not responsive, or uh, uh, having latency issue. Okay, your client is sitting in US, and there are few people. Okay, so that you have just created your entire website in US region. Your site has become popular, and that is been accessed by rest of the world also, so that huge, and out of the rest of the world, huge amounts of requests are coming and hitting to your website from UK region as well. So your site is becoming little unresponsive, or there is a little latency when people are trying to access from UK region or some other parts of the world. So in that situation, what you have planned to do, you wanted to expand your infrastructure, right? You have clients and you have users in US, and as well as you also have your users sitting and accessing your site from other corner of the world also. When your business has improved, you wanted to expand your infrastructure to meet those people. In that situation, you can also go create your infrastructure in UK region as well, because many of the people from UK also accessing your website. Based on that, you go create a website, the same website, by creating another server in UK region. So how do you make those people access your website with one particular common name, that may be yahoo.com? So in that situation, a load balancer cannot provide you that option. It can provide you to have a healthy environment in multiple availability zones, but not multiple regions. So to have multiple regions with a common name for our website, CNAME is used. Okay, to the CNAME, you can not only assign multiple availability zone instances, but you can assign multiple load balancers from multiple regions. So a load balancer from one region and a load balancer from another region, you attach to a CNAME. So when people try to access yahoo.com, automatically it will go to these load balancers, whichever the load balancer it find easy or closer to it. Okay, closer to it. So that to that load balancer it send to the request, so to the latency issues, to reduce the latency issues. And that load balancer, soon after it receives the request, automatically it sends the traffic to the healthy available instance again in all the availability zones. You clear with that? These are the 2 points to be noted, the differences between a record and CNAME. Are you all clear with that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
If not, you please drop me a text so that I'll understand. That's fantastic. So that is what a record and CNAME is. And in this, we all have whatever the things we have taken, the VPC cross zone enabled. You can change, you wanted to disable this cross zone load balancing, you can do that. There are few things you can change. You wanted to change port configuration, what way you wanted to ping that instances. So things you can change. When you wanted to, after once you create your instance, you can just add that instance here. Okay, edit instances or add instances, you will be finding those instances you can add. Then health check, automatically every service will have a default health check. Okay, the default, I mean here this health check is nothing but especially for load balancer, the ping target is what, health check.html. So we should be very careful that we must have to create this web page. If not, it will not ping the server. It will keep pinging the server, but that server will not respond because this web page is not available in that. Though it is healthy, it will not get the response because this page is not available. So we must have to create this. And the time interval and all, and also you wanted to edit health check, you can do that. Monitoring, so this is what I'm talking about. So every service will have a default monitoring. That default monitoring will be for 5 minutes. We'll discuss this again in CloudWatch. Maybe in this today's class or in tomorrow's class we will discuss that CloudWatch, what is CloudWatch and all. That's a monitoring service. So No, we have not created any HTML, Usman. We will be doing it. We just, after once we create a load balancer and understand what load balancer is, ELB is, we go create an instance, and after once that instance is created, we log into that and then create web server and all and all. We will do that. We already have seen how to create an Apache server or install an Apache server on a Linux machine and all. So we will do that. And the default monitoring is for 5 minutes. Okay. You wanted detailed monitoring. It's nothing but everything should be monitored for once every second, sorry, every minute, rather for 5 minutes every time. So you can go for that, but that charges additionally, and we don't wanted any monitoring now because we are not going to do anything so seriously. So security group, this is what the security group we have attached to that. So you wanted to edit, you wanted to add more or delete this, you can do that. Listeners, what port number 80 it is, so you can do that. It is seen in description also. Then tags, what taggings we have given, that you can check. So this is all about load balancer. Now our load balancer is ready to use. So we'll try to use that by creating two instances in two different availability zones. Okay, fine. So I'm going to the instances. So go launch instance. I'm going to take this. Okay, go to the next one because everything is default. So let it be default for now. The subnet. Okay, the next one we'll see. We need to discuss something about IAM role with an EC2, that we will do. Okay, that's important to understand. What's IAM role, I'll discuss, not to worry. I'm just giving my web server 1. Okay, something like that, because we are going to have two. Which one I would like to take? Okay, the default one I'll take, which we have created for other. Port number 80 is there. Yeah, we must have to do the check that. If port number 80 is not enabled, then automatically it will not respond. And port number 22 to log ourselves. Launch. Yes, we have only one. That's fine. Launch. When we have created an instance, till then it gets ready. It is created in 2A availability zone, right? So we go create another instance in other availability zone. Okay, so let's go and do that. How do I specify the availability zone? Which availability zone it is created? Yes. Yeah, it's created in 2A. So let's go to either of these two, whether 2C or 2B. I'm just going randomly with this. No specific reason for that. So I'm going to that. Next. Next. Web server 2. Okay. Then next. If you have any doubt in what I'm doing, what topics I'm discussing here, you please ask me, interrupt me in between. That's not an issue. But please clarify your doubts on the spot. So I'm just going to launch this instance of 2A region because we need to, go create a web servers. Come on. Yes. I noticed that there are few users, guys, giving a space after EC2. So there should not be any space. EC2 hyphen user should be given without any space to log in. Then it will come. I guess you know all these commands. Did you try creating a web server and then connecting to it over internet? Guys,
Web page or web server?
creating web page on the server and then connecting to it over internet. Web page you'll be able to create and it will work only when you install a web server into your instance.
Yeah, like Apache server.
Connecting to it over internet, just giving its IP address in the web page automatically. You take a page, internet page, and then
Okay, okay, yeah, we did. Yeah,
you did it. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, that's fine. See, I'm doing everything manually. It's fine, right? We have a script and then that's executed while instance is started and automatically everything is ready for us. Rather we go to every instance and then create it, isn't it?
yeah.
Um, what else we need to do? Yes, we have created a server. It's ready. What I'm doing. Next, we need to create web page, right? Dub. So you have to create your web pages only in this directory because this is the default root directory for a web server. In other location, if you do, it will not work. HTML, yeah. So now, creating a web page can be in any possible way. Index.html for connecting to it. Escape I something random I'm writing. Hello world. Yeah, that's fine. Escape colon WQ exclamatory, save and exit. Then create another page. What page we need to create? What is important for load balancer? Yes. Are we done creating index.html page? That's fine for us. That's enough. Yes, no, it's not enough for
Is it
that.
correct?
Yeah.
No, nothing, sir.
So what else we need to create? What else we need to do? Are we done with this server? Can load balancer understand that this server is healthy?
We created a health something like,
Yes, yes. We need to create
yeah,
another HTML page that is healthcheck.html. That's
health
what the
check.
ping path we have mentioned. So we must have to create that. So HEALTHTH. The spelling should be same because HE dot HTML. So there is something wrong. Alright, healthcheck.html. Something like that. Okay, done. So I'm just checking. There are two web pages we have created. One is healthcheck.html and the other one is index.html. Fine. This server is doing pretty good. Go to the next one. To the 2C. Copy its IP address. Go take another fresh terminal. Paste it over there. To get that, you need to right click on its, this one here. Header. Okay. Okay. What is this? You need to be root to perform this command. Guys, help me in between when I go wrong. Are you getting our concepts easy?
Yeah.
Next is I felt this is the easiest code ever I learned in my life. Cloud.
For how many years are you working on AWS, sir?
For the past 2 years I'm working.
Did you do the architecture exam? Did you take it?
Pardon?
Certification? Did
Yeah,
you do
yeah,
the
I do have a
certification?
certification. I do.
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll discuss after our course. In the end of our course, we'll discuss about certification, how it is, what way you need to prepare, and all. I'll just tell you. I'll help you with that. We don't have any specific terms for this because Amazon will not do that. But we seriously need to prepare and then get hands-on about this. Then only we'll be able to do something.
Okay.
And you will not find any alternatives to get the certification. You yourself have to go and write it because Amazon will always demand the people to get the video recordings of the customers or the guys who is attending the certification.
Oh.
So that is validated. Then next, sorry, what?
Hello.
Yeah.
So can you use the same keypad for another instance also? Like we are creating another instance for the, 2C zone, right? So we are using the same keypad. So can you do that?
Any?
Can we use the same keypad for both the zones?
I'm not clear with your question.
We have used the same keypad for this 2C also.
Yeah, 2C. Yeah, I'm doing the same with the 2C also. Because our website will be one.
Yeah,
Only one
yeah.
website we have. Alright. So I'm building same
Okay.
website in all the servers. My website is yahoo.com and that yahoo.com website I need to have in all the servers so that whenever load increases more on one particular server, the load is distributed to the other server. Alright. So the same configuration we should
Okay.
have in all the servers and same applications because our website is only one.
Okay. So
Okay.
keypad changes whenever the website changes.
Whenever?
Whenever the website changes, then the keypad will change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one server is not responsive, then automatically the route, the traffic will go to the other server.
No, sir. She's asking about the keypad.
Keypad, yeah. I have used one single keypad to all. See, one keypad you can use for all
Yeah.
the instances, for any number of instances, and also security group. Of course, they are region based. Okay, they are region based. In a particular region, you have created one keypad, and that one keypad can be utilized to any number of servers you can. You need not to have
Yeah,
multiple.
region based.
They are region based because we are now in Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah. We have changed the region, right? Now we are creating the instance for 2C region. So we don't need to change the keypad.
If you change your region from Sydney to Tokyo, then in Tokyo region you have to create another keypad.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you have to create another keypad and use it there. You will not, you'll not be able to use this Sydney location or region keypairs over there. That's what I'm saying. Anything in EC2 is region based. Okay, so you will be able to use within the region only. But for all the multiple availability zones, it can be used. For all the availability zones, it is used, but not multiple regions. So if you are changing your region from Sydney to Tokyo or Frankfurt or Oregon, US Oregon, anything you just do it, you have to create another key pair in that region as well, separately. But once created in a region, you can use it for any number of instances. There's no limit like that. But sometimes when an instance is created for one particular purpose or for one particular team, maybe for backup team, that instance is created. Sometimes it is the instance is created for somebody else. When the instances are created for many people or many different purposes, if we use, this is another challenge in the real time. it is not suggested to have same key pair for all the instances for security reasons, because you know you use same key pair for all the instances, so everybody will get the excuse me, so everybody will get the access to all the servers. So I'm having something in my mind, so I have created one instance for backup team, one instance for finance team, one instance for maybe security or applications team. And if I use same key pair for all these three instances, everybody will get access to all the servers. So what if an admin guy, a backup guy, log into a finance instance and do something nasty? All the finance data will be corrupted or lost. So that in
Yeah.
real time we use multiple key pairs or different key pair for a different instance. But here, since we are just doing something, we are trying to understand what it is, what is that. So I'm going with one single key pair. You can use one key pair for multiple instances, but in real time we use different key pairs for different instances because of security reasons.
In a particular region,
Yeah,
we
in a
can use multiple pieces. Okay.
yes, clear.
Okay. Yeah, clear.
Oh.
Sir, without certification can get a job, or
Yeah,
for
of
job
course,
certification is
of course.
mandatory?
I initially did not get any certification. I did my certification last year, but I'm working on AWS from past 2 years. That's not compulsory, but for freshers it is an advantage because you don't have experience. Usually, what people
Yeah.
think, either you need to have an experience or you need to have a certification for freshers.
Okay.
If you have both, it's really fantastic, amazing. You can just do amazing things in Amazon, with Amazon, I guess. So what we have to do, we need to go. Okay, let's see. Sudo is to execute command. CD is possible for all, right? I've already installed my Apache server, so I'm not going to sudo. It's okay, fine. You have to. That's by default. We need to go for sudo. I mean, root user. So what is first one? Index dot html will have something different. Oh, oh. Okay. Check how our load is, distributing to all.
So, sir, after you're typing the good day to all, after 3 dots, you type escape.
Yeah, to save this, what we have to do is escape colon what is happening with this? Escape colon
So
the
obviously
name.
when we
Yeah,
uh, so when we press escape, obviously our cursor goes to down in the before you we get insert, like the
yeah,
cursor goes over there automatically.
yes. This is VI editor.
Okay.
You need to learn something, some commands in VI editor. Apart from Linux. People who go for Linux training, they'll teach you with VI edited commands also. So this is a little different, that we need to learn how to insert text, how to save it, how to move up and down, how to delete lines, things like that. You have some different commands. Not to worry, you'll get everything in Google. So to write something, after once initially, like vi space file name, enter. So it will take you to this page. Then in order to write, escape I is for inserting. So you insert your text, whatever you wanted, you insert, and after once you are done with writing your text, or editing your file, then initially you wanted to save it, escape colon. For everything, whatever you need to do, you have to press escape. Then for saving, colon, W for saving actually, Q for quitting, then exclamatory symbol is to be given. Can't open file for writing. There is something like this. I don't know why. I'll just let me just check. I think I need to be a root user for this. Don't have any file, so this is time taking. Next class, I'll tell you about script. You remember user data? Escape
Yeah, user data, yes.
I. So in that user data, we just mention a bash script, bootstrap script. Then automatically, you will get all these things created. Yep. The next page, vi healthcheck.html. Yes, okay. You write something, it's fine, not an issue. Why it has become so slow. Okay. Yeah. So our two servers are ready. Now we'll start Go Play. What do we have to do now? Go to load balancer. Go to instances. Edit your instances. So you have two instances. I'm going to add both of them. Okay. Save. One instance into A region and the other one in to A zone, and the other one is into C zone. You see the status. This is another point you have to notice. The status is out of the service. Instance is in pending state. Why is it in pending state? We have already added, and the servers are being healthy. Make sure the servers are healthy. Okay, yeah, fine, they are healthy. But why is they are in out of service state? Can anybody? Yeah. What is the healthy threshold we have set? Yes. Okay, let me tell you. The instances are out of service mode. Okay, now they are in service. Fine, everything is fantastic. So because of that, it is in service now. So it is because the moment you add your instances to this load balancer, they first initially will be out of service mode. The status will be out of service because, excuse me, the load balancer continuously check for its response. So the healthy threshold is set by us is 3. So with a time interval of 10 seconds in between, it will keep pinging these instances, and whenever it get a proper response for 3 times continuously, it will consider the instances are healthy and in service now. Not applicable. Now currently in service but not applicable because we have not yet used. So what do? We initially go ping these servers. Okay, I mean ping in the sense we access them. This IP address. Okay, copied.
Could you please explain that again?
Okay, I'll do it in a moment. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to access these web pages over internet. Let's see whether we get. Okay, this is that. I'll do it in a moment. I'll discuss that particular point again. Okay, so these are the two different instances we have created, and then the web pages we have created, that index.html. So what I'm talking about is the moment you attach your instances to the load balancer. Okay, have you seen how to attach instances? What I've done, I've just gone to instances in the load balancer, then went to edit instances. In that edit instances, earlier we didn't have any running instances, so that we could not add. But now after when I've just created instances and went to edit instances, we could see two different instances, so that I've added both of them. Initially when you add, the status of those two instances will be out of service. It's because it considers those two instances are unhealthy in the first moment. Why? Based on the health check we set. So what is the health check we set? It needs to ping. Okay, it needs to ping. The load balancer should ping the healthcheck.html on the server or instance. When it gets the response, okay, a proper response for 3 times with a time interval of 10 seconds in between. Okay, with a time interval of 10 seconds in between. Then it consider after 30 seconds, so 10 seconds in between with a time interval of 10 seconds, and it needs to ping for 3 times, so 3 into 10, 30 seconds it will wait to get the proper confirmation from the server that it is being healthy or not. So after once it gets the proper confirmation for 3 times continuously, then the instances are treated to be healthy and the status changes from out of service to in service. So that now these servers are in service, so that we can just access them, the web pages. Are you clear with that?
Yes, sir. Sir, but like in real time, how many times they will wait for the
Based on whatever you set.
health check?
It always depends on you.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. Depends on, but in the real time, what the company asks for how many times?
the criticality depends always on your website. If websites something like usually people if the website has become very popular and many people are accessing that website, so automatically the demand increases. They do not bother for the money, but they wanted the perfection and then the access without any difficulty. So in that situation,
Okay.
what they do, when they do not bother about anything about the money, they always wanted for as less time as possible that site should be responsive. So now what we have set is very limit, very small amount of time we have set for 30 seconds. Okay, if you do not want it at least this time also to be waited, then you can just go change your healthy threshold for 2. In real time, this is the basic. In our organization, we have set the similar way. In
Okay.
the almost similar way we have set. Okay. So what I've done to check using load balancer, I have copied the description, the ELB name, the total ELB name, okay, and pasting it here and the other page. Yes, I'm giving it to you also. Just try accessing this. You should get it because I have given to everybody, open to the world. So try accessing multiple times and check what you are getting. So first we are getting good morning, good day to all. So it's nothing but it is going to the second 2C server. Now 2A server has only hello world. Let's see, refresh the page and check whether it is sending the traffic to the other instance also. See, it is changing. First it has gone to this 2C instance, and now next it has gone to 2A instance. So the load, are you refreshing? I mean, are you accessing that? Hello?
Yeah, I'm accessing. They are moving. Yeah, I'm accessing.
You're getting the same? I mean, it's moving from
They are
one
changing.
instance to other instance. Now what I'll do,
Yes.
excuse me, wantedly, purposefully, I'll, stop an instance. Okay? Purposefully, I will stop an instance and then check. Which one will do? Okay, we'll go with 2A because it's already selected. Stop. Only to check. Okay? So you also play in all the possible ways to get hands-on. Make your hands dirty as possible, however the way it is possible. Now going to the instances. You see, the moment I have stopped one of my instance, it is now out of service because the ping response for 2 times with a gap of 10 seconds, it is pinging and it found that the server is not responding. So it's treating now that this instance is unhealthy. And now any number of times you access or refresh this, you will automatically get only one particular output. Okay, and this is the best thing, right? Though your one of the instances down, but you still be able to access your website from the other instance. That is the load balancer flexibility or usage is whatever it happens to your website or the infrastructure of one particular availability zone, you will still be able to serve the people from the other availability zones instance when a load balancer is attached or kept in front of the infrastructure. It not only sends the traffic to all the available instances, healthy instances, but also make your site accessible all the time without any difficulty, though something go wrong with one of the instance. So this is what, now when you refresh, I think we should not get this. Looks like my internet is little slow. You see, the site can't be reached. Maybe various reasons, due to various reasons. And now, what your health check .html has, you wanted to check that? You see? Because when you are accessing your website, by default, the website will take you to the index page. Unless you specifically ask for some web page. Now we wantedly asked for healthcheck.html page, so it is now taking us to that particular page and saying the output as yes, I'm healthy. But if you do not ask for any specific page, by default the website will take you to the index.html page. That is the reason why in load balancer I have not mentioned index.html as my ping target. Initially, by default it will be taken as index.html. And since everybody, when they try to access the website, by default it is routed to that index.html, and if it do not respond due to the huge load, then the servers are treated to be unhealthy unnecessarily. So that's why I have specifically created a web page, that's healthcheck.html, and attached to this as a ping target. Are we clear with this? Yes. Now what I'll do, I'll just go stop my instance and check. I'm starting it. It's pending and will start in a while. So this is all about load balancer, guys. Hope you understand and enjoyed it. In real time, another scenario I would like to tell you. In real time, sometimes a particular user comes to you and says that I'm not able to access this website or load instance. So what do you do? And this load balancer can be set to both the ways, internally and externally, especially in case of internal load balancing. What way we set internal load balancing? If there is a file server, okay, the servers may be any different types. So file server is nothing but it is a common server where all the data is loaded into that or copied into that, and that is accessed by entire organization people whenever they want it. So there will be an access provided to everybody based on the teams and the data they wanted to access, but the access is provided to only the data they are supposed to access. So a share is given for all the teams in one particular file server. In that share they will be able to update or upload all the data, and they'll be able to access. So when many number of people access to that particular server, it may experience huge amount of load again. In that situation, what do we do based on the load hitting to that server? I mean, you may have multiple file servers again. So you keep a load balancer in front of that, all the file servers. When people are trying to access, automatically it sends the traffic to that. But initially what we do, we just set the access by a particular IP addresses, not to everybody. Like how we are taking here a security group with everybody. I have allocated the inbound to entire world. So it is not possibly done in real time. What do? We will take custom IP address in inbound traffic. Okay. We do not support what I'm doing. Okay, it is. So the custom IP address is taken in real time. And when people are trying, see here I have given everybody anywhere, but real time we go with custom. The custom IP address should be mentioned here. When people access from other IP addresses, okay, other range of IP addresses, they usually do not get the access to that. So they raise a request saying, I'm not able to access this, so and so. What do? Can anybody? Yes?
We change to anywhere or
That
add
is what
them
the challenge
to
is, right? We are not supposed
the
to go
custom
with
IP address.
any.
We add the
Yeah, that's the point. Anybody else? So what do? But first thing is we are not supposed to, give access to everybody, because if somebody else, unauthorized guy, gets the access and do something wrong in that and the data gets corrupted, the data is lost. So what do? We have an option with the load balancer that it can have any number of security groups. All right. So what do? Either you go to a security group which is already assigned to it and then add another rule with a custom IP of that particular range, okay, or go create another security group and attach it to the load balancer. That's done. So what you have to understand in real time is we probably teach you few issues whatever so far I have experienced, truly speaking. But you should be, it's not that this is the only topic, this is the entire thing 100% I'm talking. It's not that. What do? You try to understand the content, the topic, and be little smart with your, have some little common sense that if something happens, what we have to do. Think in that way, what way we can just resolve things. So that will really help you how to come up with a particular resolution. Okay. So here we have to either, there are two possibilities. You go edit the already attached security group by adding its inbound to another rule. Okay. Or go create another security group and attach it to your load balancer. That's done. That is the possible things. Now my server is healthy, I think. Let's test it for one last time. Coming with more.
they are healthy, sir.
Both are?
Yeah, both are.
But did you get response from the other server as well? Yeah, I have it. So that's the point. That's about load balancer. Yeah. Are you all clear?
Yes.
There is anything you wanted to discuss with? Clarify. Everybody? Yeah, fantastic. So now what do? Before we go, learn something about auto scaling. Now what we are left in our EC2 section is we have covered all the possible things, all the important things and necessary things. Now we are in the end of our EC2. That's auto scaling. Once we learn about auto scaling, our EC2 is done. But before we go learn about auto scaling, what it is and how it works, how do we create or configure it, we have to learn something. Okay, I'll make you prepare with that. that maybe tomorrow, like bootstrap script. How do we use bootstrap scripts and all, what script it is, and all. I'll just make you understand everything. But before that, we'll just go monitor, like learn something about monitoring stuff. Okay, what is monitoring stuff? I'm telling you that there is a particular service to monitor. Everything will be provided with a default monitoring that is for 5 minutes, and when we wanted a detailed monitoring, that will be for every minute. You will get the details of your environment, how healthy it is, what's the throughput, and all and all. But that detailed monitoring will be charged. So we'll discuss that monitoring stuff now. We'll clear understand that and how it works and all. So that is important for our load balancing, sorry, auto scaling. Then we will understand in the end. Once everything is ready, we will understand auto scaling in the end. With that, we are done with EC2. So meanwhile, what I'll do, I think we can just delete these things. They are not needed anymore. Always play safe. Okay. So anything you practice, you please go delete all of them. So end of the day, you will not be paying anything to people unnecessarily. Of course, if you have some use, you have a purpose, wantedly you're keeping it alive, then it's up to you. Now we need to understand about monitoring. So what do? Go to your management console back. Then what is the monitoring tool? This is CloudWatch is the service for monitoring. So monitor resources and applications. We'll quickly understand. It's quite simple thing. Give me a second. Okay. I'm actually running a show on a mobile network, so it's being little slow. So this is all about, so this is the dashboard of CloudWatch monitoring. So understand CloudWatch is a monitoring service. Here we monitor all of our other services, servers or storage or anything detailedly or anything. So to do that, in this dashboard, we go create, its matrices. So the metric summary is that Amazon CloudWatch monitors operational and performance metrics by your AWS cloud resources and applications. You currently have 240 CloudWatch metrics available. So we actually create matrices. We will understand things here. You can have a monitoring for billing. You can have monitoring for EC2 instances and also when especially matrices like for EBS, EC2 and elastic load balancer, for all these things we have a matrices created. Logs for anything you wanted to have a log for any service, where how people are accessing it and what way it is accessing. You wanted logs to be created for that. Okay, so logs monitoring can also be specially created. Okay, all these things we see now, and we will also see alarms. Alarms are very important. For these alarms, we probably need one server. Hey, do you have time? We'll continue. Everybody? Or we'll discuss all this tomorrow. I mean Monday.
We have time, sir.
Hmm?
Yeah, we have time.
Okay, you all have time, so not an issue. Only 2 guys, 3 guys. What about the rest? Shilpa, Anu, Prashant, Sai, I think he's fine. Shall we continue? Yeah. So I'm just going. This is for I just wanted to show something. So I'm creating another instance, a default one, but I'm not going to launch it for a test temp server. Let it get ready. So this is pending. You see, in the monitoring, if you go to status checks, we will understand what these status checks are now in this. And in monitoring, if you go, you have CloudWatch alarms. There is no alarm created now, but we can create an alarm either here or by going into CloudWatch dashboard. So first let's understand about matrices, then one after the other. Initially, when you need to understand about CloudWatch, okay, as I said, it's a monitoring tool. Okay, monitor matrices and all based on the matrices. It hypervises. Actually, it is based on the hypervisor level. Hypervisor level in the sense, kind of VM. So that then one important thing what we have to understand in this is it will always monitor our infrastructure, but it will not monitor the memory stuff. Your CPU it is monitored, your throughput it is monitored. There are 9 different things, quantities it monitor, but especially it will not monitor memory. How much hard disk is utilized, how much hard disk is left out, the space matters, it will not monitor. So remember, if somebody asks you, what if your server's memory hard disk is full, how do you get notified? Can we set an alarm for this using CloudWatch? So simply say no, we cannot do that. And remember, by default, we will get a standard monitoring for all the services, that's for 5 minutes. And if you wanted detailed monitoring that we go and have, that is possible for every 1 minute. So whatever is happening, entire information is just provided to you within a minute. Okay, every 1 minute it is monitored and given in terms of a graph. And it's all about performance monitoring. What way your infrastructure or your things are performing, but not memory. Okay, that you remember. And when we go to, okay, this server is ready now, fine. We go to dashboard, we will have all these things. Then what we do is we create an alarm and check. This is important for our auto scaling. Okay, so alarms, what alarms performs? Alarms, we set alarms. Once we set alarm, based on the action we set in that, it will perform that action. So we'll understand. And events, you know what events, with respect to event, okay, CloudWatch help us to respond or state changes in AWS resources. Okay, so whatever the things we wanted to do some changes and all with respect to events, we can do that. We'll not do, we'll see, but we'll not practically see about events. And logs help us to aggregate and monitor and store logs here. So we can just monitor that also, logs, and then understand about these status checks. I wanted to tell you this. These are important. So every server will have 2x2 status checks. So what are these 2x2 status checks? Okay, the first one is system status checks and the second one is instance status checks. So let's understand one by one each. So when it comes to system status checks, it will always about loss of network connectivity. It's nothing but it checks whether the network connectivity is fine or not, the system power is properly set or not, it's getting proper power supply or not, and all the softwares are working fine or not, whether it is on the physical host or somewhere. Then hardware issues, it will find for whether any hardware issues are existing or not. So all these things are checked in system status check. If everything is fine, then it will just go and say that system status checks is passed. That's what is seen here, system status checks is passed. Then what about instance status checks? Instance status checks are nothing but, it will only check about a particular instance, not about externally. What it checks, whether any system status failure or not, every single system check, system status checks are passed. Yes, once it is passed, then it will go to instance status checks. So first it will check all the system status checks are passed. Okay, fine. Then it will go to configurations. If there is anything misconfigured, like configured wrongly, or everything is properly configured or not, that it will check. It's nothing but its network, the instance network it will check. Then it will check whether the system is having proper memory in terms of RAM. Okay, so if the RAM is working fine and all, that it will check. Then if there is any file system corrupted or all the file systems are working fine, that it will check. Then it will also check its kernel. What do you mean by kernel? Kernel is nothing but it is responsible to boot your operating system, OS. So for all the systems we will have a kernel that is responsible for booting your operating system and then make it alive. So all these checks are checked by instance status checks. What if either of these status checks fail? Then we have a solution for that. It is as simple as, in case if your system status checks fail, you will see 1x2 checks. If nothing but either of this, one is passed and the other one is failed, then you'll get 1x2 checks. So which means you have to come down and check which one has failed. If system status check fails, then the solution is you stop and start your instance. Then automatically the instance is launched on a new physical hardware device available. Okay, so when you stop and start, automatically it will just take other availability or other available hardware, because when you are launching an instance in the cloud is just an open space with all the services provided to you. You can use in any possible way. So when you are trying to launch an instance, it will take some hardware available based on your requirement and launch your instance. So when system status checks fail, you stop and start. It will be launched on the other available hardware, physical hardware in that space, cloud space. So automatically everything will be fine. Then what about instant status checks fail? In case instant status checks fail, then in this case what you have to do is you should go and reboot that server. Okay, you have that option. You have to go and reboot. So once you reboot, what happens? It will automatically configure all of your network, your kernel, your memory status, corrupted file system, everything will be rechecked and set it properly. Then you will have your server working fine. So this is all about two different status checks. So what we have to do when system status checks fail? What we have to do? System status checks fail. When system status check fail, anybody with any other answer?
We'll have to go for some other hardware.
Yeah, how is that possible, going to some other hardware?
By stopping and
Starting.
launching on
We have
rebooting.
We have to stop our instance, not rebooting. Don't say reboot. We have to stop our instance when system status checks fail and start it again. So that is done. When instant status checks fail, then what we have to do?
Reboot the instance.
Reboot the instance. Yes. So that's what the thing is. So remember how it works. When your system status checks fail, you stop and start so that your instance will be launched on the other available hardware so that it will be working fine. When your instance status checks fail, you reboot your machine, so all the network related issues and all the issues things with your instance will be reconfigured so that it will be working fine. And end of the day, it should be 2x2 status checks. Then your system is fine, working fine and healthy. That's what the thing is. Okay, so now let's see about matrices. We just go create some matrices and all. When you to do that, okay, you can just see there are 240 CloudWatch matrices available. So to do that, you can just go browse here and automatically it will take you to matrices here. So see how many matrices we have. For EBS we have 92 matrices available. For EC2 we have 84. For ELB we have 64 matrices, and all those matrices are like this based on these points. Now we see we have an EC2 created, and we'll just go create a matrix for EC2 server. Okay, so opened. The moment you just go for a matrix, remember, whenever you just go for monitoring, the monitoring will also have some data, right? So it will check on a particular day or a particular time, it will check your server, okay, it's healthy and it's using so much of CPU utilization, so much of this, so much of that, all the possible matrices you can just go create out of all these 95. Okay, showing 95 results. So out of this 95, out of 95, 1 to 50 are shown now, but of course, so out of these 95 you can just create your metrics for anything. So what do we do is for CPU utilization we create. So your CPU utilization, the moment I've taken, you see the CPU utilization graph is drawn here. So you can set here whether it is from 1 hour or from past 3 hours, 6 hours or 1 day, or the maximum is 2 weeks. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Your monitoring data will be available only for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, this monitoring data will be by defaultly erased from your location. So anything, any resource you wanted to monitor, you will be able to just go and check its past thing for only 2 weeks time, not more than that. Okay, so that is what you can just check. And when we have this, the utilization is like this. The graph, everything will be seen in terms of a graph. Okay, so based on that graph, we will have this. Now what I'm just doing, okay, so this is what as a matrix is created. Okay, that's for what we have created. EC2 we have created a matrix. Okay, now when you go to EC2, we have that. I'm just going to the matrices. There is a matrix available for us which we have created. That's for CPU. Now, so this is all about. So this is how we create a matrix and then monitor things. Anything you wanted to monitor in terms of a graph and all. If you go to EC2, you have a monitoring for this as well. Here you can just do that, especially for EC2s. For everything you'll have a monitoring. So you see what and all is monitored here, the default thing. So first thing is CPU utilization. It is not mentioned here because the default monitoring will be for 5 minutes, and discretes, disk operations, all these 9 things will be monitored. There will be 9 things monitored. Disk writes, disk write operations, network in bytes. Okay, you need not to remember all these things because everything is available here, but just have an idea. Network out, network packets out, in and out. Okay, then status checks failed, any, that is about instant status checks, system status checks. Then CPU utilization, that is CPU credit utilization, CPU credit balance, how much is left out. So all these things are monitored, and that is when you wanted to do with respect to this one, CloudWatch monitoring, that is by selecting or by creating matrices, so that you will be able to understand very clearly with respect to these graphs. Okay, and if you wanted to just have dates wise, you can also change that. Then what else? So, okay, then let's go check our alarms. This is important. The very important thing is this. So create an alarm. Now I just wanted to create an alarm. Alarm will have 3 different states. That is, insufficient state, first one, then go to OK state, then come to alarm state. Let's understand. First create an alarm. So to create an alarm, what for we are going to create an alarm? Let's go create an alarm for EC2 only because we have one EC2 running. Then which one we go? We go with CPU utilization only. Okay. Then next. So for what you wanted to create alarm, that's what the point is. And what is the alarm name? Just see, randomly you give some name. I'm just give test alarm. Okay. And description for testing only. Just like that. And understand this. Okay, you are setting an alarm for CPU utilization, of course, but how are you setting this alarm? Whether you are going to set this alarm for over usage of it or being idle. So what I'll do is, however, I'm not utilizing this instance because I have not launched it. The first thing is, so since I'm not using this instance, if I just find this instance is idle, not being utilized, so I'll just go set it lesser than or equals to. So you can set in all the possible ways, either lesser than or equals to, greater than or equals to, less than or greater than. So I'll set like this. So if my CPU utilization is just less than 20%, okay, so that's what I'm saying. For how many consecutive periods? So I'm setting it for how many consecutive times. That's what I'll check. One sec. So the consecutive periods refer based on the time interval. Here you see the period is mentioned, it says 5 minutes. If I just say one period, then it will check for 5 minutes. But what I'll do, I'll just say mention 1 minute and mention here for 3. So 3 consecutive periods is nothing but 3 1 minutes it will check. That's nothing but for 3 minutes it will wait. And after waiting for 3 minutes, it will go perform the action. What action it perform? That's what we have to set. So the action can be, it is just notification, so that it will notify you what is happening based on whatever the notification you wanted to set. In the demo, I just have mentioned something about notifications. SNS topic, you remember? So it will set a notification. You have to set a notification in that SNS topic. Whatever the notification you set, that is how the notification is sent to you. Or auto scaling. Okay, you ask this instance is to be notified to auto scaling. So auto scaling will take the action that whether it needs to scale up or scale down. Okay, and the next thing is EC2 action. So what we do is we will go set an action for EC2. Okay, we will set an action for EC2. What it needs to do? Okay, state of alarm. So let it be the state of alarm. By default you take, let it be state of alarm. So what it needs to do? It needs to recover this instance, or stop this instance, or terminate this instance, or reboot this instance. So what I'll do, I'll just go and terminate. I'll select this for terminate because I don't wanted that instance anymore when it is being idle for less than so much of time and less than 20%. CPU utilization is CPU is utilized. So this is what the action I'm setting. Okay, so for how much time it will just check? For 3 consecutive periods of 1 minute it will check. So till it check for these 3 consecutive periods. Okay, so these 3 different states we have. So first it will go to insufficient data. Why insufficient data? Because it needs to check for 3 different consecutive periods. That is nothing but for 3 minutes. It will just check. It will not have enough data for that. So it will say insufficient. Once if it find sufficient data, that's for 3 minutes after once it check, it will come to OK state. Yes, I'm having enough data for me. And once it find less than 20 minutes for so much of time, whatever the periods we set, so it will go and alarm state. Once it go to alarm state, it will if you set a notification, it will notify you, so that you should the moment you get the notification, you should just start jumping into it and then fix it, whatever the issue it is. If not, based on the other actions you set, it will take the action and then do the things. Now what we have done, we have set an action to terminate this instance, after checking for three different, 3 periods, that's for 1 minute. So that's nothing but 3 minutes. And if it, why it needs to, when it needs to terminate, when its CPU utilization is lesser than 20%. Yes, go create alarm. Once I create alarm, what's happening? I don't want it to wait for 5 minutes, so I'm just changing it. So it's creating, the alarm is getting created. So always auto scaling work with load balancer and based on these notifications, alarms. So that we need to understand how alarms work. Once we see how it functions, we'll stop our class for today. We'll conclude. Tomorrow we'll see, Monday in India, we will see some instances with bootstrap script and instances with IAM role. Okay, so I'll tell you what is an IAM role. That's what I have just shown just before while creating an instance for load balancing. All those things we'll see. Then probably on Tuesday we will see auto scaling, and then we are done with EC2. So this is the biggest topic. EC2 is the biggest topic in the entire course. The next storage is another one, but not so much as huge as our EC2. Why is it taking so much time?
Sir, could you please send the videos of yesterday, day before yesterday?
I have uploaded. Didn't you get?
No, sir, we didn't receive.
Just check the same path provided to you by the institute people. I have uploaded it yesterday night. Because of my internet problems, I just uploaded it a bit late, but I did it yesterday only.
Okay, sir, right, it's fine.
Please check. If you did not get, then I'll do it again.
We got them, sir.
Got it? Fine. I don't know why it is taking so much time. It should not take so much of time actually, but I don't know why it is. Do it again. the maximum is 1 day. It's mentioned here. What I'll do, I'll just go for stopping it rather I'll go for terminating it. And check the instance ID whether it is the same, the instance whatever you have, or what instance you are just. I think I did everything, Usman, you check once, if not I'll do it again. I did. So instance ID is 27E2. Let's check. Oh, yeah. So what do? We just copy this instance ID and paste it over there. That's why it is taking time, I guess. I thought it has auto selected. So this is where you keep your instance ID. It has taken some other instance. That's why it's not performing, I guess. But I'll directly go for terminating it. Okay. Yeah. Another thing is, this is important thing to understand. That's why I'm not able to, go create alarm, because this is the point. Create an IAM role for EC2 action access. Why an IAM role? What do you mean by IAM actually? So IAM is nothing but identity and access management. That's what we use for our user management. Okay. So here in the user management, we go create our users and their access level. This is what IAM means, identity and access management. Here we create a role. Why do we have to create role? Because when a CloudWatch alarm is trying to take some action on behalf of you, it needs to get authentication. It needs to get the permissions to do that or perform that action. So how does this get a permission to perform this action? That is by an IAM role. So you authenticate, you provide an action or authentication to go and perform this action on behalf of you. That's by creating an IAM role. Okay. About role, we'll understand in IAM little more detailed way. So now I have created an alarm. You see, it's in insufficient data first, as I said. Then next it will go to OK state once it finds the data, and after that it goes to alarm state. So if you go to your EC2 instance, there is an alarm created. Say alarm state none here. Okay, we'll just refresh. There is an alarm created. Oh, it has come to alarm state. Check. It has come to alarm because for 3 minutes the CPU utilization is lesser than 20%. So what it needs to do? Now alarm is ringing. It's alarming actually. So what action it needs to perform? Yes,
Terminate action.
it needs to terminate. So let's see whether it will terminate that instance for us or not. If it terminates, yes, it's working fine. So it's alarming, checking for 3 minutes. You see the reason, this state change to alarm at so and so time, reason threshold crossed, one data point was less than so much or equal to the threshold 20%. Is it going to no data? Usually won't take so much of time, but it needs to be terminated. It's going to insufficient data. So guys, you check. Okay, you check. It should work. It won't take so much of time. I don't know why it's behaving like this. The moment you find alarm here, it needs to take the action and then terminate the instance based on what we have set the action. So you just check. If it happens same with you, we will see it again. If not, that's the fine. So there is something wrong in the alarm created. Was not able to validate the provided action access credentials. Okay. So the IAM role is not actually properly set, I guess. That is why it's not performing it. Oh, action completed successfully. See, it worked finally. So the thing is, the IAM role is not properly created, and that's the reason why it did not work out. But in the end, the alarm state, the moment it goes to alarm state, it will perform the action whatever we set. So finally our instance is terminated with an alarm. So clear with that, this is how alarms work and do some work on behalf of us. Now I'll just go delete this because I don't need anymore. Okay.
So for the alarms also Amazon charges?
Yes.
Just it comes under monitoring.
Yeah, it will comes under into monitoring, and detailed monitoring will be charged. Alarms will be a little charge. There will be a little charge because it's performing some action on behalf of you, right? So anything you just do something, I mean, in the end you delete. That's what I say. I suggest. So dashboard. Now we don't have anything created. However, let's go check whether there is anything pending. Yeah, nothing. Fine. Are you clear with all the things discussed today? Anything you want me to clarify?
If the alarm is set, we can see in the dashboard. I mean the main dashboard, not in the CloudWatch, in the Amazon dashboard.
Yeah, here you can see the CloudWatch dashboard. You will be able to see.
No, not yet. Like in the dashboard, we have key pairs and the security. We can see over
Here,
the
this
security.
point you wanted to check.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is EC2 dashboard, right? So every service will have its own
Okay,
dashboard. So it's only about EC2 services. Here you'll not be able to see alarms created. In CloudWatch dashboard, you will be able to see.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
okay.
where you can see,
Thank you, sir.
if you go to running instances, here in the instances you will be able to see alarm created. Earlier we have created an alarm. Of course we have deleted, so it is saying none here. But earlier
Yeah,
you could see that there was alarm state here. Clear?
yeah.
Fine. Anything?
No, nothing, sir. That's it.
If there is no doubt, nothing to be clarified, then we'll end up the session for today. I think I have taken so much of your time. So Monday we'll discuss something. Then Tuesday we'll finish our EC2. Clear? Done then.
Yes, sir.
Bye. See you. Catch you day after tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll not have class. So day after tomorrow we'll meet again and then discuss. Continue with the topics. See you guys then. Good day.
Thank you, sir.